Hello, people. Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
And as you see, we are in a very cool space.
Really cool
Some
space.
dope figures, some dope toys. We got a Sukuna over there. We got some Deku to my left, some Gundams above me. This is Plus Ultra Entertainment. If you don't know about them, I'm going to leave a link to our video where we talk to them right in the description, so you should go check it out. They have a new studio space in the DC area.
Yes.
It is amazing for creatives. You should definitely check it out. They do everything. Tekken tournaments, anime karaoke, or just regular karaoke. Right. Spades tournaments, all of it.
They have a creative space. They have a whole photography studio in here. They have a recording studio. We are in one of their recording studios for video and audio, but they have a full-fledged audio recording studio and two spaces to just like hang out.
Yeah,
really
it's
dope.
super dope, and yeah, definitely check it out. They graciously let us use their space today to talk about a movie we saw.
Yeah, so I already recorded a review for this movie, and Sam happened to see it the day after, and we said, why not do it together? Because I feel like I like when I get a little break. Sometimes we go right into it and I'm way more critical than when I actually get to think about it. So I think I have nicer things to say and not a...
Oh, okay. Then did that extra day help you? Because I don't have too many great things.
Okay.
But I did overall enjoy it.
And what is this movie?
One of Them Days. It stars Keke Palmer, stars SZA. A bunch of internet personalities you're going to recognize.
Yeah.
And it is produced by Issa Rae and her team.
Yeah.
So
the writer is one of the main writers for Insecure, and you can tell.
Yeah, it's very black. In a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, basically, this is, the thing that reminded me of Jovi? It reminded me of Friday so much.
Yeah, and I think that's like my main point, where it reminds me of Friday. It reminds me of everything 90s. And it reminds me of a buddy cop film.
Yeah, so the premise of the film, it literally takes place in one day. The beginning of the day, the two girls, Keke Palmer and SZA, their character names I'm not going to remember. But
it was... Oh, gosh.
Drew
was
Keke Palmer with an X because someone called her Drex.
And, Allison. Or Alyssa.
Oh, good job. Yeah, it was Drew and Alyssa. Yeah, he's right. Alyssa was SZA, Drew was Keke Palmer.
Yes.
Two roommates, two childhood friends. They live in a crappy apartment, but in a great community. Like a great community. They call it Jungle. But anyway, they live in a crappy apartment run by a bad landlord, and they can't afford the rent. Alyssa's boyfriend steals their rent money, so...
Yes.
I think the movie starts, it starts at 8 a.m., I think. But point is, they have until 6 p.m. to find him, get the rent money, pay their rent so they can live.
Yeah.
That is the premise of the movie.
And she has an interview for a huge promotion at 4 o'clock.
Yes, one of the stakes is she has an interview at 4 p.m. that she cannot miss.
Yeah.
So technically they have until 4 p.m. so she can make her interview.
Right.
And it's just them chasing this deadbeat boyfriend across the city, which is hilarious. He is shacking up with a new girl who is like the neighborhood bully, the Debo of this movie.
She's literally the Debo of this film.
Yeah, everyone's scared of her.
She really didn't seem that scary at first, and then you're like, oh, that was a horrible idea to mess with this young lady.
Yeah. But yeah, and then, hijinks ensue, and the day goes on, and stuff happens, and that's where the comedy comes from.
And it's hilarious.
Yeah, so I'm going to say before anything, overall, I do think the movie is good. I do think it did what it intended to do.
Right.
But I don't even know if I'm going to do the whole sour sweet thing, because what I have to say is really quick, Jovi.
I want your sour because I feel like our sours may be the same. Again, we didn't see this together, but I know this guy, and I feel like we're aligned on this. He didn't get to watch my review that I already did, so I feel like your sour is the same thing as mine, but it's not necessarily a sour. It's a observation.
Well, okay. So I have two, I guess. Let me just tell you the things that I thought were negative.
Okay.
First, some of the jokes were a little just not great. Or the humor was just not great. Some of it.
Okay.
I think the actual plot got a little too convoluted, especially when they added something in the end of the second act.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, this movie's only an hour and a half, so for me to say it's convoluted, that kind of stuck with me. And then I want to talk about SZA. So I'm not sure if this is her acting debut.
Okay.
I think it might be. She did a pretty good job. Like, I think you can tell during this movie that, like, you can tell, like, there, just how movies are shot in scenes. You can see the scenes where she was not comfortable acting and the scenes where she got more comfortable acting. Like, you can see the difference. Because there are some scenes I was like, they should have prepared her better. But then other scenes, I just feel like I'm watching a regular actress.
Okay.
And then
2 of your points are my 2 points. Actually, I'll tell you.
And then,
what they are.
And then I guess like I said in the beginning, this reminded me like halfway through maybe quarter way through the movie, I was like, this is just like Friday.
Yeah.
But I hate to say it this way, but Friday was just done better.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, it's especially if you were to compare it to a classic film that.
I feel like I laughed.
Ice Cube wrote Friday for years. That wasn't just something he threw together. No, well, that sounds like they threw this together. I feel like I need to get my words right. It was something that he really put his all into. This seems like just another project that is very similar to the way Insecure does their jokes and their formats.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It reminds you a lot of this. If you don't like Insecure, you're not going to like this movie.
But I really like Insecure. Yeah. And so I really enjoyed this movie. But I want to tell you my sours.
Yeah, but that's all I have to say. Go ahead, bro.
But I'm completely aligned with that last plot just thrown in there.
Yeah.
Which was, they made it make sense. They tried to kind of like, it's like this whole, like just going around a circle and like you thought you were done. They're like, oh no, you got to run back around. Right. You got to run it back around as fast as you can. And so you thought the movie was done, and then they throw that at you. Mm-hmm. But there was signs of that, and if you listen, it was, we're a little more critical. They basically tell you it's going to happen.
Yep.
And so that was a sour, but at the same time, it didn't completely take me out of enjoying the film. And then my biggest sour was SZA. Like, she's amazing, talented artist. Her with Keke Palmer, it's like, y'all know how I used to feel about Keke Palmer. Now that's the homegirl. Like, it shows that she's been acting for her entire life. Yeah. And then, like, when she's with SZA, it shows that SZA has not been acting, and it kind of took me out of it sometimes, where I was like, I'm not looking at Alyssa, I'm looking at SZA acting as a character. Mm-hmm. When I was looking at Keke, I was like, I see Drew. I see this person that is really going after something, not just reading lines.
Right.
So, yeah, that's it. Like, SZA didn't do a bad job. It was just, I could tell that you're not an actor.
Right, exactly.
That's it. That's all. And so it took me out a little bit, but I got past it after like the first half hour.
Yeah, because movies are shot out of they're not shot in order.
Yeah.
So like for early scenes, it seems like those are actually shot earlier.
Yeah.
In the first act, there were some points in the second act where I was like, well, why are you doing this again? Yeah. But then overall, I feel like she got comfortable. I feel like she was okay. Right. Like it's, let's say 65-35 split.
Yeah. In as Sam's point, like there are longer scenes where she's talking more. And I think that's when she was the most comfortable.
Right.
There's short ones where she's kind of trying to do the same comedy that Keke does. She doesn't have that delivery. She doesn't have that.
And that's probably why the humor didn't hit as much.
Yeah, but when Keke did it, and it was like I know that you're not allowed to improv in Hollywood anymore, but it didn't feel like some of that stuff was written. It felt like it was coming directly from her. Like if you listen to her podcast, like some of that stuff, I was like, okay, that's not Drew. That's Keke Palmer making a joke.
Yeah.
So not a sour, but just an observation, as I said. Sweets.
Yeah. Overall, I do think that, like I said, even though some of the humor didn't hit, it did hit more often than it did not.
No, for sure. It was funny. It's fun. It's a funny film.
Yeah, I enjoyed like the editing. You know, like it had a clock countdown. I thought was great.
Yeah.
All the cameos. Not going to spoil a lot of them, but you know,
and I did in my review, and I'm glad that we're redoing.
Yeah,
this
but there's you know, the cameos that come on screen.
Yeah.
They add a lot to it. I thought they were very funny.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
you see some people, you know, we live in DC, and we saw it. At least I saw it. There was just nothing but black people there.
Yeah.
So they would come on screen, and we would just be like, "Hey!"
Yeah.
Act like we know them. But that was fun. And
there's some people in this film that need to be on film. Like they've been doing so well. Even the boyfriend. I forget his name. I'm sorry, but I used to watch his stuff all the time.
Yeah,
before he got, but. Whoever his agent is, clearly is doing their job because he just got signed like 2 years ago, and he's in a whole big movie. So he's hilarious outside of it, and a really good writer and actor. I feel like they didn't utilize him as much as they could have, honestly. But all the other like internet cameos, like man, Issa got pulled.
Yeah,
there's plenty.
She did that in Insecure too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny, y'all. It's pretty damn funny, but again, we've already said this. Feels like Friday. I don't think I need a sequel. There's a love interest in this that didn't hold my attention. I didn't care about that part of the plot. Oh
yeah, I noticed how I didn't even mention it.
Yeah. So but besides that, like it's a really good time in the movies. I will watch this again. I did.
It's only an hour and a half. Too,
it's like I laughed a lot, and like if you know us, when I belly laugh, it has to be funny. But it's just like stupid comedy,
right?
Like people getting hurt, stuff like that. Shit's funny when it's done well. But that's it. Like I'm glad that we got to do it so we could really talk about it. But besides us being super critical and like the SZA side and like how the ending plot just didn't do justice for the actual film. It's really good, and I hope that Issa makes more films like this.
I'm sure she will.
But like bring it here, like get out of LA. You know, LA's, you know, I hope everybody's doing well after the fires and everything, but get out of LA. Like I feel like that's been her, but you know, she's from here too. So like I would love one of them days, not one of them days, but a film for this area. I think that would be really cool. And like going to spots, because of course when you're watching it, you see LA. Yeah. So that's it.
That's it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely appreciate you guys. Until next time, we out.
Deuces.
Well, we are back because we forgot to give it a score.
Yeah.
So hopefully you didn't cut it off after the deuces. So I would give this one a 3.5 out of 5.
So again, having a little bit of time, I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5.
All right, that's your Small Couch Review scores. Now, thank you for watching. Till next time, we out.
Deuces.